Okay, Hare Krishna. After this incident, Narad Muni, the greatest of all devotees, came to see Krishna in a solitary place and began to talk with him. My dear Lord Krishna, he said, you are the unlimited supersoul, the supreme controller of all mystic powers, the Lord of the whole universe, the all-pervading personality of Godhead. You are the resting place of the cosmic manifestation, the master of all the devotees and the Lord of everyone. My dear Lord, as the supersoul of all living entities, you remain concealed within their hearts exactly as fire remains concealed in every piece of fuel. You are the witness of all the activities of the living entities, and you are the supreme controller within their hearts. You are self-sufficient. Before the creation, you existed, and by your energy, you have created all the material elements. According to your perfect plan, this material world is created by the interaction of the modes of nature, and by you, it is maintained and annihilated. Although you are unaffected by all these activities, you are the supreme controller eternally. My dear Lord, you have adventured yourself on the surface of this earth just to kill all the so-called kings who are actually demons. These hobgoblins are cheating people in the dress of the princely order. You have adventured yourself to fulfill your own statement that you come within this material world just to protect the principles of religion and annihilate unwanted miscreants. My dear Lord, I'm therefore sure that the day after tomorrow, I shall see demons like Chanura, Mushtika, and the other wrestlers and elephants, as well as Kamsa himself, killed by you. I shall see this with my own eyes. After this, I shall be able to see the killing of other demons like Shankar, Yavana, Mura, and Narakasura. I shall also see how you take away the Parijata flower from the kingdom of heaven and how you defeat the king of heaven himself.
Oh, that was good. You should be on TV.
Oh no, Prabhuji.
Okay, so during this time, Narada, who can enter into any of the universes or Brahmandas at his will, he's a Siddha. He is from Siddha Loka. His residency is Siddha Loka. He's the son of Brahma. But he has the mystical power of being able to enter into any of the universes and witness Krishna's pastimes. So Narada knows the sequence of the Lord's pastimes and knows what's going to happen, not because he can see the future, but he has already experienced the past. And just by, we got some problem here. What was that with Amu Naveen? Messages that devotees are waiting to be let in. Oh, I have no power to let them in. Who has the power? Who let me in? No. I don't. Has he given me the power to let them? I don't know how. I just came in myself. Let me have a look. I can admit them. Admit them. He's given me he's made me a host, looks like. Okay. Ding, 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 ding. Okay. Hare Krishna. That was a sudden appearance. All right. Thank you, Amu. Hare Krishna. I didn't realize that Sachi has given me the hosting on this. He didn't tell me that I have to admit everyone. Please forgive me for that. We've just read one paragraph here, which, Panchali has read it, and she read it with real a bit of Shakespeare in there. She put a bit of Shakespeare. To be or not to be, that is the question. She put a bit of drama into it. And I'm afraid I'm going to have to read it again for you very quickly. Is that okay?
Thank you so much, Prabhu. Thank you.
She read it very nicely, but I had no idea. I had no idea. Amu has just made a message now, and then I've checked, and then at the top I can see that I've got the hosting here. Excuse me for that. Sachi is coming soon, but he's asked me to start. So this is the after the incident at the top of the page, or whichever. In my book, it's at the top of the page, but it's the second paragraph as far as I can see.
What? Sorry, Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Yes, Rita.
What does it start with? What the paragraph? What's
the paragraph? It ends with the demigods were amazed, and out of their great appreciation for Krishna, they were greeting Krishna with flowers by which is their normal, their natural greeting is to shower flowers. And while the flowers were falling, and just after the incident, Narada, who is the greatest of devotees, he came to see Krishna in a solitary place and began to talk with him in private. So this is the private conversation. Are you all sitting comfortably?
Yeah, what chapter is it, Prabhu?
Oh, killing the Keshi demon.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. It's the chapter we finished with last week. So is Jigna Chauhan sitting comfortably there? Smita, are you lying comfortably?
I'm not lying. I'm on my settee.
I'm just joking. Okay. After this incident, Narad Muni, the greatest of all devotees, came to see Krishna in a solitary place and began to talk with him. My dear Lord, Krishna, he said, you are the unlimited super soul, the supreme controller of all mystic powers, the Lord of the whole universe, the all-pervading personality of Godhead. You are the resting place of the cosmic manifestation, the master of all devotees, and the Lord of everyone. My dear Lord, as super soul of all living entities, you remain concealed within their hearts, exactly as fire is concealed in every piece of fuel. You are the witness of all the activities of the living entities, and you are the supreme controller within their hearts. You are the self-sufficient. You are self-sufficient before the creation. You exist. You are self-sufficient, semicolon. Before the creation, you existed, and by your energy, you have created the whole material universe. According to your perfect plan, this material world is created by the interaction of the modes of nature, and by you, they are maintained and annihilated. Although you are unaffected by all these activities, you are the supreme controller eternally. My dear Lord, you have advented yourself on the service of the world just to kill all the so-called kings who are actually demons. These hobgoblins are cheating people in the dress of the princely order. You have advented yourself to fulfill your own statement that you come within this material world just to protect the principles of religion and annihilate unwanted miscreants. My dear Lord, I am therefore sure that one day, the day after tomorrow, I shall see demons like Chanura, Mushtika, and the other wrestlers and elephants, as well as Kamsa himself, killed by you. So this is the day after tomorrow. Here we are. We can all make a movie called The Day After Tomorrow, the part 2. And I shall see this with my own eyes. After this, I hope I shall be able to see the killing of the other demons like Shanka, Yavana, Mura, and Narakasura, I shall also see how you take away the Parijata flower from the kingdom of heaven and how you defeat the king of heaven himself. So there you go. That's the paragraph. And, you know, as Narad Muni, he is a Trikalagya Rishi. Trikalagya. What does Trikalagya mean? And who can tell me what Trikalagya means?
Someone who knows the past, the present, and the future?
Yes, he knows past, present, and future because he's already been into the future, because everything is cyclic. Everything is cyclic. So the future is the past, and the past is the future. So when we there's two types of time. There's linear time and there's cyclic time. So what people don't understand is because we have no vision, understanding with our senses, or we can't go far enough ahead in time to understand, or far into the past to understand that it's cyclic. Therefore, most of the scientists and the speculating class of people, they consider time linear. But actually time is cyclic. And what is coming is already gone. It's already happened. Therefore, Krishna's pastimes are eternally going on, one after another. Someone may say, oh, that's like watching the same TV program, you know, again, or the same movie again and again. How can you watch the same thing again and again? You know, that's really boring. Not with Krishna, it's not boring, because Krishna is always fresh. His pastimes are always fresh. His teachings are ever fresh. Everything about Krishna is yovanam. It's fresh and youthful and never decays. His name is not only ever fresh, it gets sweeter and sweeter and sweeter. So in spiritual terms, we can, like Narada, he will have experienced these pastimes again and again and again. He'll know what's coming next. But still, he's experiencing the ecstasy of pure devotion, witnessing these pastimes, even though he's seen it before. It's just like, has anybody got a film that a favorite movie that they could watch again? Anybody got one? Anybody got a favorite film that they could see again? I got one.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. What's your one, Smita?
I watch Columbo every week. Same movie.
Columbo. Okay. So, all right, Columbo, detective. My father was a CID detective inspector in the police force, so I wouldn't watch that personally. I wasn't a great fan of the police. I grew up with them. But I could watch Malik. One of my favorite films is Rajesh Khanna's Malik. Has anyone seen Malik with Rajesh Khanna? It's a very nice, with Sharmila Tagore. And it's we used to sell it, you see, back in the 1980s, especially the 80s and early 90s, where it was video. And the temple used to sell videos. We used to sell various videos. And some of them were devotional videos, like Malik. Yehi Hai Zindagi was another one with Sanjeev Kumar. Another one was Sampurna Ramayan, Kankan Me Bhagawan. There was a few of them that we used to sell at the temple, you see. Neelachala Mahaprabhu, Nimai of Nadia. These were all on videos that we would sell devotional. So Malik. So I can watch Malik so many times. Anybody else got a favorite?
I can watch The Sound of Music.
Oh yeah, the
anytime, right from as a kid.
Yeah.
Started as a kid, and then I can watch it anytime again, over and over.
It's true. Sound of Music is very. It was very well produced. The songs were fabulous. The story was very crystal clear and very family. I watched it when it first came out in 1965 or 66. I was with my parents at a seaside resort, and it came out, and we all went to see it for the first time. When it first came out, I was about 9, I think, or something, 10 at the time. Very nice. So the thing is, mundane things, look, even mundane things like Columbo, for goodness sake, Columbo. But you can watch it again and again. It's true. How about Krishna Leela? Well, you know, that we can watch that non-stop forever. It's so ecstatic. So that's these are jaded reflections of Krishna's pastimes. Actually the movie industry itself is a kind of a shadow reflection of Krishna's Yoga Maya. Because with Krishna's Yoga Maya, everyone is like looking perfect. Krishna always looks perfect. Therefore, one name for Krishna is Suvasa. Suvasa. Do you know what that means? Suvasa. Vamsi Vadana Suvasa. Vastra, Vastra, Vastra. Vas means two things.
Clothes.
Yeah, vas means residence, and vas also can mean your cloth. Your cloth. Once Radharani was speaking with Krishna. This is in the Nectar of Devotion. And Radharani said to Krishna, "Oh, Krishna, where is your vas?" Meaning one of his pieces of cloth was missing. And Krishna very cleverly, he said, "My vas is in your beautiful eyes, Radharani," meaning his residence. So you can see how romantic and wonderful Krishna is, that Radharani asked, "Where is your vas?" meaning your kapra. But Krishna replied, my vas is in your beautiful, I think he called her doe-like eyes, like a deer's eyes, Radharani. I always remember reading that in the Nectar of Devotion. It's there anyway, as an example of one of Krishna's attributes. So in this particular one, our Narada is recollecting. He's also projecting that this is going to happen. This is like a soothsayer or a fortune teller, someone who can see the clairvoyant. He can see but he's not really seeing the future. He's actually understanding the past is cyclic, and he understands what's coming next, and he's looking forward to seeing it, because all these pastimes are blissful. Ananda Chinmaya Rasa Pratibhavitabis Tabirya Eva Nijarupataya. This is from the the Brahma Samhita. Okay, so that's a little synopsis. Anybody else got a little bit to say about that chapter? Anything to add? Smita?
No, I've got nothing to add. So I'm just asking that so I understand it correctly. So this Leela has gone on before, exactly the same Leela, and Narad Muni has seen it, and he's then repeating it again. Is that right?
Exactly, yes. I mean,
okay.
When Krishna finishes one Leela, that Leela starts happening in another Brahmanda. So this is what we call Nitya Leela. In other words, Krishna's Leela never ends, because it's all blissful. You see, there's no deterioration of quality. There's no, it's never gets, there's no boredom there. There's no dryness. Everything connected with Krishna is completely ecstatic at all times. And one is in the ecstasy of witnessing Krishna's pastimes. Therefore, the grass, the trees, the inert, the Stavara Jivan. Stavara Jivan is the inert objects of Vrindavan. They all experience ecstasy witnessing Krishna's pastimes. So this is the spiritual. That's why one could take form. One may take the form of a blade of grass in Goloka Vrindavan forever. and one may be completely in ecstasy forever. Who would like to be in ecstasy forever here? Anybody fancy being? How about Archana there? Do you fancy being in ecstasy forever? How about that? Yes, please. I'll have two of them. How about Ramesh at the bottom? Ecstasy forever, Ramesh? Any takers? Shamarani, taker, can you take that? Could you manage that? To be how experience ecstasy forever? Oh, no. So all of you don't. How about misery and pain forever? How about that one? Anybody like that one? No, we definitely.
No.
So ecstasy forever is a good option. To be ecstasy means to be completely satisfied. It doesn't mean that you're like in a trance and you're like waving your hands wildly. I mean, I'm in ecstasy. It's not exactly to be in ecstasy is a very sattvic thing. It's a very internal thing where one is like an experience that you're eternal. That ecstasy of being eternal. It is that in itself is amazing. Adbhutam. It's wonderful. It's to experience that you're eternal. You'll never cease to exist, and that that itself is an amazing. That's also the basis of ecstasy. That's explained in Bhagavad Gita, where Krishna says in the 9th chapter, I think, Brahmano hi pratishta. It may be in the 15th chapter. Brahmano hi pratishtaham amrita sabhyayasya cha. So the Brahmano, Krishna says, I am the basis of this Brahman, which is the foundation of the Amrita Sabya, the nectar of the all things of the ecstasy, ecstatic life. It's the basis of ecstatic life. Amritavya yasya cha. Beautiful shloka. Okay, so who would like to read the next chapter here, which is beginning with my dear Lord, continuing.
I can read it.
Yeah, go. Now, what we've asked everyone to do earlier on, we asked Shashi and Panchali, if you can say it with a little, remember the other day you came into our shloka group and you joined us and we did a little bit of Shakespeare. To be or not to be, that is the question. So we want to read it with a little bit of projection so that there's a little sort of, it's not a dry, just you're reading like the newspaper. All right. Or some you put a little bit into it, in other words. Yeah.
Okay, I'll try, but I'll just read that paragraph and then you
go ahead and put a bit of
just
effort.
A paragraph.
Yeah, just put a bit of effort into the words.
Okay. My dear Lord, Narad Muni continued, I shall then be able to see how you marry princesses, the daughters of chivalrous kings, by paying the price of Kshatriya strength. Whenever a Kshatriya wants to marry a very beautiful and qualified daughter of a great king, he must fight competitors and emerge victorious. Then he is given the hand of the princess in charity.
Oh, that was nice. Thank you, Smita. That was nice. What do you think? What do you think, Sashi? Yeah, Panchali. Yeah. How about Archana?
It was fantastic.
Do you like it, Archana? Yeah, Archana. Where did you read? I shall see how you save King Riga. This is a nice little section as well. Go ahead.
Okay, Hare Krishna. I shall also see how you save King Narga from hellish condition, said Narada Muni. This you shall enact in Dwarika. I shall also be able to see how you get your wife and the Shyamakanta Syamantaka jewel, and how you have saved the son of Brahmana from death after he has already been transferred to another planet. After this, I will be able to see you kill the Pounder Raka demon and burn to ashes the kingdom of Kasi. I will see how you kill the king of Sadi and Dantavarka during the great sacrifice of Maharaja Yudhishthir. Beside all this, it will be possible for me to see many other chivalrous activities while you remain in Dwarka. And also these activities performed by your grace will be sung by great poets throughout the world. At the Battle of Kurukshetra, you will take part as the chariot driver of your friend Arjuna and as the invisible death incarnation, eternal time, you will vanquish all belligerents assembled there. I shall see a large number of military forces killed on that battlefield. My Lord, let me offer respectful obeisances unto your lotus feet. You are situated completely in the transcendental position, in perfect knowledge and bliss. You are complete in fulfilling all your desire by exhibiting your internal potency. You have set up the influence of Maya. Your unlimited potency cannot even be measured by anyone. My dear Lord, you are the supreme controller. You are under your own internal potency, and it is simply vain to think that you are dependent on any of your creations. Is it correct? You are dependent.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Sorry.
Thanks for putting that effort in. That was really nice. Archana, thank you.
Thank you. Hare Krishna. Thank you.
That was, yeah, because, you know, putting a little extra effort into the, into what's going on, not going over the top, you know, we don't want to overact, but, you know, putting a little bit of feeling ourselves into it is nice, because then everyone will experience it a bit better, the reading as well. So Krishna, who knows the name for Krishna's internal potency? This is mentioned in, oops, excuse me.
Ladini.
I'm sorry?
Ladini Shakti?
No, and that's Krishna's pleasure potency, which is the source of happiness, sweetness, excitement. Certain experiences in our life are coming from that Ladini Shakti, which is personified by Srimati Radharani. The sweetness of life, the happiness, the friendship, love, a lot of these manifestations are actually coming directly from Radharani. This is mentioned in the 7th chapter. There's one shloka. I'm going to give you a clue. Krishna is saying that those miscreants, those people who are asuric, they will never understand me. He says, Naham prakasha sarvasya yogamaya samavritaha mudhoyam nabijanati lokomam ajam avyayam. So one of his internal potencies is the yogamaya. Yeah, and sometimes the yogamaya is also called Atma Maya. Who's heard of Atma Maya? It's there in Bhagavad Gita. Many times Krishna refers to his own internal potency as the Atma Maya. Atma means self. So that means his own Maya, his own Maya. Or Maya means 3 things. Who can tell me the 3 things that Maya means? One thing. What does Maya mean? One of them.
It's illusion?
Yes, ma, not, ya, this. It's not this. Okay, Maya. Another meaning of Maya is Shakti. Okay, Atma Maya, Yoga Maya. Maya means also Shakti and energy. But when this type of Maya, it's very, very powerful. It's not just a Shakti, just a type of, it's like a major energy. Therefore, it's called Maya. Another meaning of Maya is affection. Affection. So Maya has three meanings: affection, energy, and illusion. So in this case, Atma Maya means Krishna's own personal energy, his internal energy that he displays when he comes here. Everything is set up. All the planets, as we've read earlier, they all rearrange. All the graha, which are controlling us, we are controlled by the graha, which is the devtas. So by our karmas, the certain planet is there, your first house you're born. If you are born under the sun, for example, in your first house, you may have a scar on your body. If you're born with the sun in your first house, this is Jyotish. There's different arrangements for us. When Krishna comes, when Bhagwan comes here, the planets rearrange to suit him. Now, who would like to have that arrangement? When you're born, the planets, they rearrange to make your life perfect. Ding! Who would like that? Smita? Yes, please. So the point is, when Krishna comes, the Rohini Nakshatra, she is that powerful star is a very great influence in the world and appears when there's a great personality appearing. I believe that when Jesus also appeared, the Rohini, the star, this particular star was prominent at that time. It's prominent during the appearances of very great personalities or incarnations of God. And all the grahas rearranged to create the most perfect, harmonious situation. And then the devtas descended as members of the Yadu dynasty, Andhaka dynasty, the Vrishni dynasty, etc. The Pandavas, they were fathered by the devtas, Yamaraj, Indra, Vayu, Ashwini Kumaras, and everything became very divine. The whole influence of the planet became very divine for Krishna. And then Krishna comes and Radha comes, and all these Nitya Siddha, eternally liberated souls, they descend with Krishna. So this whole arrangement's made, and the world, it becomes like a different place. It's almost like the spiritual world when Krishna comes. So that's a little bit about Krishna's appearance. And Narad Muni is now projecting, he's giving a kind of an overview of what's to come here, which is very nice. He's projecting all the great activities that Krishna will perform. And he says that, it's all working under his personal Maya, which is called? Which is called?
Atma Maya.
Atma Maya. Okay. I'm trying to remember the verse where Krishna mentions Atma Maya. I thought it was in that verse, Naham Prakasha Sarvasya. Yoga Maya, that one is. But there's another one. There's a few verses where he mentions Atma Maya. Atma Maya, ya. He says, Ishvara Sarvabhutanam Hrideshe Junatishtati Pramayam Sarvabhutani Yantrarudhani Mayaya. No, it's not there. Atma Mayaya. I'll find it. I'll find that shloka. I teach slokas. I teach people how to learn slokas and how to learn many, many slokas. So I've just challenged myself there. Okay, let's go to the next chapter here. Who would like to do, you have taken birth in the Yadu dynasty. Who would like to do it from there? Go on. Thank you very much. Go ahead, Shashi.
You have taken birth in the Yadu dynasty, or the, I can't pronounce that word.
Vrishni.
Or the Vrishni dynasty. Your advent on the surface of the earth is your original form of eternal blissful knowledge, is your own pastime. You are not dependent on anything but yourself. Therefore, I offer my respectful obeisances unto your lotus feet. After offering his respectful obeisances to Lord Krishna, Narada Muni took permission and left. Would you like me to continue, Prabhu?
Yeah.
I've lost myself now. Right, okay. Narada Muni wanted to impress upon people in general that Krishna is fully independent. His activities, such as his appearance in the family of Yadu and his friendship with Arjuna, do not necessarily oblige him to act to enjoy their results. They are all pastimes, and for him, they are all plays. But for us, they are actually tangible facts. After he had killed the Kesi demon, Krishna returned to tending the cows with his friends in the forest, as though nothing had happened. Thus, Krishna is eternally engaged in his transcendental activities in Vrindavan with his friends and cowherd boys and gopis, but sometimes he exhibits the extraordinary powers of the Supreme Personality of Godhead by killing different types of demons.
Yeah, I mean, from here, you know, we see that Narada comes to Krishna from time to time. And here he is having a private darshan with the Lord. And he's, obviously, Narada has done this in another universe also, where he's met Krishna and said the same thing. So these repetition of pastimes where it's like a play, you know, who's been in a play, who's been in a on stage and in a performance? Anybody been on? Yes, yeah, all right. Was it, how many times did you do it for, Panchali?
Just during Christmas, the Christmas pantos.
And how many did you do?
3.
About 20?
No, just 3.
Just 3, yeah. Well,
Yeah.
when you know, when I'm from a show business background myself, and you know, when you go on the stage, I used to play music on stage, and you play the same songs, okay, same songs, but it's a different audience. If it's the same audience, the audience will get bored, and the performance will be also get a bit bored. But because of the audience is different, the performer is experiencing a different bhava or rasa, and the people listening. Same for acting. You know, see the actors, they will do you know, 20, 30, 40 shows, maybe more. Same show. Each time they do it, it gets a little bit better. Show gets a bit better. There's always something different happening. Even if it's the same thing, because of the time factor, things are a bit different. Similarly with Krishna's pastimes, you know, same thing is going on, but there's always a little, some adjustment. It's not like Krishna's doing exactly the same thing, word for word. It will be a slight adjustment here and there. And Narad Muni may say things a little differently, or whatever, you know, different personalities. But in Krishna's pastimes, they're so blissful that they can go on, and they do go on eternally in this way. In the material world, Krishna performs the same Leela. He appears at a certain time, once in the day of Brahma, when the planets align themselves, he appears once in every day of Brahma. Brahma lives for 100 years. So how many days in 100 years? Well, how many days in 1 year? 365, correct? How many days in 10 years? 3,650. How many days in 100 years? 365,000. Would that be right? I'm just guessing. No, 3,030. No, three. If it's 10 times that, it would be
36,000.
36,000. So Krishna will come in the life of Brahma. He'll come here 36,000 times to this universe and do the same pastimes. That's 36,000 shows, Panchali. Could you manage that, please? How about 36,000 showings of Colombo, Smita?
I've been watching it for a very long time, every Sunday, so I don't know.
No, I don't think you'd hack it. I don't think you.
I don't think I'd live that long, would I?
No, I'm not talking about living that long. I'm just
to watch all these shows.
Oh, forget about living it. Krishna can arrange that for you. But I don't think we would, after about 10,000 shows, I think you'd be fed up. But with Krishna's pastimes, wow, they're so wonderful. They're so wonderful. And they're fully conscious. Fully conscious. It's full, you know, it's like at a different level altogether. Okay, so that's really nice. Narad Muni wanted to impress. We've come to that part now. Who wants to carry on from there?
So Prabhuji, I've got a quick question. Can I ask, please?
Yeah, go ahead.
So is that because Krishna comes, so the same thing is being performed, and as you mentioned just a while ago, there are slight variations each time because things, and is that the reason that, you know, in the Vedic scriptures, sometimes the same incident is described in slightly different ways by different people? So is there different kalpas and different things taking place in different kalpas with slight variations?
Yeah. God isn't a robot. He's not a robot. You know, the Leelas like Buddha, there's different appearances of Buddha. Buddha is mentioned in the Srimad Bhagavatam as the Ashakti Avesh avatar of Krishna. Ashakti Avesh avatar, to come to bewilder the atheists. Buddha's business is to give the atheists a religion. I teach Buddhism in school. So I teach all the religions of India in school. So one of them is Buddhism. So I explain these things, why Buddha appears, is to bewilder the atheists and to stop the unnecessary cruelty to animals, etc. So, but Buddha appeared in a previous Kali Yuga. Buddha will always appear in Kali Yuga. And in a previous Kali Yuga, Buddha appeared at a time when there was space travel going on. Okay, there was space travel. So it's not that it's always the same situation. And with Krishna also, there's different Varahas. There's a Varaha avatar scheduled. They call Ete Chanksha Kalaha Pungsha. Krishna's tu Bhagavan Swayam. So this is mentioned in the second canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, 2.115. So what does this mean? Ete Chanksha Kalaha. All these are incarnations, Anksha and Kalaha. These are either incarnations or plenary portions, would mean Shakti Avesh, those who are empowered by God, like Vyas. Dvaipayana Vyasadev, Krishna Dvaipayana, became empowered to become Vyasa, as well as Brahma. The Brahma also is empowered. The Jiva becomes empowered to become a Brahma. Sometimes, if there's no one qualified to become a Buddha, the Lord may become Buddha himself. Sometimes when there's no one qualified to be a Brahma, the Lord may become the Brahma himself. So at times, the Buddha could be actually a direct incarnation of God. You see? A Vishnu Tattva, Svangsha. Not Svangsha, sorry. Svangsha means Krishna's own multiplication of himself. That's Svangsha. This is the Angsha or Kalaha. So all this is explained in the Shastras. So the Lord, when he comes, it's the same schedule, the same things are happening, but they may happen slightly differently, you see? And why not? If you're God, why do it the same way? I tell you what, if I was God, I wouldn't do it the same way. I would do it a bit different every time. You see, because it's more fun. And of course, Krishna, the whole concept of God, the first thing that Krishna does is expand himself as his Swayam Prakash, Balaram, for company. Then he exhibits his internal potency, his Ladini, to increase the pleasure, to increase happiness with Radharani. And therefore, this is what Krishna is doing. And from there comes, and the whole principle of life is what? Ananda Moya Bhyasat. This is in Vedanta Sutra. Excuse me for going on it. Ananda Moya Bhyasat simply means that life is simply meant for enjoyment, for bliss. But in the material world, we are not enjoying the bliss because we have come under the law of karma. And therefore, karma means work. We have to work. And work is there, and we are forced, you see. We are come under a force here. We have to take on a body, dehana. Kayam. Kayam is the body. We've forced to take on this kayam. And we're in dehina, in the body, and we cannot get out until we are forced out by kala, by the time of death. So our position is very much a forced labor. But Krishna, when he comes, he simply has fun. He kills the demons. Krishna, sometimes arrows are shot into his body. That's also a form of pleasure. When Bhishma fires arrows, Krishna accepts them with love, because Krishna is not experiencing pain like we would, because he has no veins. He is akayam. Krishna has no body. He doesn't have a body. We have a body. Krishna is akayam. He is not embodied. He is coming in his own blissful form, which cannot experience the blissful form of God cannot experience pain. There's no pain there. There's no duality there. So we've come to the end of it now. Already, we've come, and Sachi didn't show up yet. So we've was it tangible facts there that you finished on, Sashi? Tangible facts. Smita, can you remember this for next time? We finished on tangible facts.
I will try.
And after that is after offering his respectful obeisances.
No.
No?
No. Later that morning.
Later that morning. Okay, that's the next one. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, Hare Krishna. Now, I think you do a round of japa.
Yeah.
Okay. Any other question before we finish? Somehow or another, because I've been preaching for many years, I can usually answer most of the questions. And if I can't, I will find out the answer somehow. So if you have a question, throw it out. Don't be humble. Don't be shy. Ask a question before you die.
Thank you, Prabhuji. I have to leave today.
Yes.
I'll join again next week. Thank you for the wonderful class. Thank you. Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Okay.
Thank you. I also enjoyed the class, Prabhuji. Thank you.
Yes, thank you very much, Archana. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
And the other people come, but they don't take part then. Suresh and the others, they don't read, they just listen in. Well, that's fine. That's like with my shloka lessons. People come and just have a listen in, which is great. Are you going to do japa now? Are you going to do a round of japa?
Well, it's up to you. Normally we all do it together, but if you need to go,
because
then
I was supposed to go and get my wife about half an hour ago, because I thought that Sachi was going to come to take over. You see, I didn't know I was going to do the whole thing, but by default I've gone through. So,
but we can leave it for this time, Prabhuji. We can all log out and do our own one round. It doesn't matter.
Yeah. Okay.
That's fine, Prabhu. You better go and get your wife.
Yeah. I don't want to upset. I don't want to upset her. Hare Krishna.
Hare
That's
Krishna.
another thing. Never avoid upsetting your wife if well, you were all wives, yeah? Well, you know. Don't upset the missus. Avoid it at all costs.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Prabhu.
Thank you.
Krishna.
Take care.
Krishna.
And don't catch COVID. Nahi.
No.
Nahi. Nahi.
Nahi.